There's no reason to catch falling knives. Bitcoin saw a very nice bounce at the 200-day moving average, but it looks like we're still heading lower. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the most important charts, and we're also going to be touching on some of the news that's been really reflecting in the charts. If you enjoy the content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Let's jump right into the video. First, let's objectively look at the Bitcoin chart. Now, what do you see? We've been talking about this range for a while, and we talked about how crucial the 86.6K level was. If I zoom in a little bit closer, we can see that we actually bounced off of this blue line over here, which is the 200-day moving average for Bitcoin. A much needed bounce indeed. But the worrying signs are still there because ideally, we could get back above 86.6K, hold it as support before targeting the next area in the range, which is 91.8K. But unfortunately, it's starting to look like it's acting as resistance, which would tell me that Bitcoin does indeed want to move lower. Now, my lower target, as we've been discussing, is around the 73K level. Now, this could take days or even weeks to play out. So what you need to consider here is that this is really not looking bullish. I can't lie. A lot of people, once again, are trying to catch falling knives, which is why I started the video saying that you should not be catching falling knives. Wait for some kind of confirmation on the price action of Bitcoin. Now, if I was trading this price action right now, what I would be looking for is that retest of the 86.6K level to enter a short, because it's looking like we're going right into sell pressure. Now, of course, Bitcoin can chop around here, and I would hope that it would do so before just crashing down. But ultimately, my target is still 73K, and I've been very vocal about this over the past few weeks. Once again, I will remind you, if we can reclaim 86.6K and put us back within this pretty big range for Bitcoin, that would be bullish. But naturally, if we were to reverse here, I actually think that the top for the bull market would be slightly lower than if we were to go all the way back down to 73K and then pump from there. As I've been talking about in the Discord, the more short-term pain that we get, the higher that we can actually go this bull market. Keep that in mind. Now, as always, if you want to trade this price action, make sure to click the first link in my description down below. It'll bring you directly to Weeks, where you can earn up to $100 just for connecting your phone number to your account. And if you're a relatively big trader, you can earn up to $30,000 in bonuses just for trading as you normally would. First link in my description down below. So yeah, the only key level that I'm really looking at for Bitcoin now is this 86.6K level all the way down to the 200-day moving average. Maybe we tap into it again and really confirm it as support before moving higher. But as long as we stay below 86.6K, my next target is the 73K level. And of course, if I think that we've bottomed out and things are looking like they're going to reverse, I will make sure to let you know ASAP on the channel. In the meantime, I saw a comment of someone asking me to look at Ethereum. What is there to say? We're right into a support level, but if we are to break below this support level, it would not be looking good for Ethereum in the short term. But this is very much a market that is determined by Bitcoin. Any kind of moves that Bitcoin makes drastically affects the rest of the crypto market, and we can also see this on the Ethereum Bitcoin pair. We're dropping once again, and as we've been discussing, I was hoping that this long wick to the downside would mark the bottom for ETH Bitcoin, but it doesn't necessarily look like it's the case. We're still between 0.025 and 0.03, and only time will tell where we can actually go here, but it wouldn't surprise me if we go ahead and retest the lows given the recent price action of Bitcoin. Now, in terms of Ethereum on its USD valuation, if we are to stay around this level once again and break to the downside, and we see Ethereum around $1,500, I would be selling everything and accumulating as much Ethereum as possible, because that would be a very high risk to reward play, in my honest opinion. This is deep value for Ethereum, and as we can see here, in the previous bear market, we bottomed out around $900, and anything below this range is a very good buy, because I still think that Ethereum will be putting in an all-time high as soon as monetary policy shifts. And look, there's several reasons for this price action. This could be seen as just a regular retest in the bull market. We still haven't even dropped 25% from the high, which, as we know, we can go as high as 50% drops, although I wouldn't necessarily be betting on that. Maybe closer to a 30-35% drop is a lot more realistic for this cycle, but there's also some not so favorable news coming out. One of it being, once again, yesterday, President Trump announced 25% tariffs on the European Union. Naturally, whenever Trump talks about tariffs, we have seen price action be relatively negative. Then, this just came out right before I recorded this video. Trump says proposed tariffs on Mexico, Canada will go into effect March 4th as scheduled. I don't know why this comes out again, because it was already scheduled, but just to remind people, these tariffs are coming out. And another one, China will be charged an additional 10% tariff. So this tariff talk is definitely spooking the market, and it is not helping the Bitcoin and the ultimate crypto price action. As we can also see, the total crypto market cap, we are now getting into this crucial support range, and it would be very shocking to me if we don't hold this before potentially moving higher. To go below this support range, I mean, at this point, it would be the most bearish thing possible, but I'm not necessarily betting on it because this is a pretty big range over here, and I think that we will likely consolidate before moving higher. If we also take a look at the RSI here, we can see that we're starting to bottom out, so potentially a reversal could come sooner than we think. Oh, and there's another contribution to the pretty abysmal price action, and that is the fact that BlackRock has transferred over 5,000 Bitcoin and over 30,000 Ethereum to Coinbase Prime in the past 30 minutes, which was actually a few hours ago, but as this went live, I shared it directly in the Discord community. If that interests you, you can sign up to the Discord. It's the second link in my description down below. In that group, you can find a lot of my real-time signals, education, and some overall market analysis. And yes, the spot ETFs do reflect this as well. As we can see, we've just had a ton of sell-offs and outflows. 500 million, over $1 billion, and then $750 million as of yesterday, seeing outflows from the Bitcoin spot ETFs. And then we got some confirmation from Arkham as well. Fidelity sold, ARK sold, Grayscale sold, but BlackRock also sold $150 million worth of Bitcoin. And as we saw, they just keep transferring some Bitcoin and Ethereum into Coinbase, ready to sell their bags. Now, a lot of people are speculating that perhaps they're just manipulating the market here, but the price action is suggesting otherwise, and you need to be careful with falling knives. This is really the theme of this video. I know a lot of people are eager to put their capital in the market and try to catch the exact bottom, but I would honestly prefer to see some kind of confirmation. Particularly if we're talking about Bitcoin, confirmation for me would be seeing several days above 86.6K before we are to move to higher levels. Then, as we start to move gradually higher, I would likely be adding more to my position. Until then, a key long-term position that I'm looking to accumulate for Bitcoin, as I mentioned, would be the 73K level, because I think that overall, this is deep value, especially if you're someone like me that thinks that over the next 10, 20 years, Bitcoin could be hitting $1 million per Bitcoin. You might think I'm crazy, but this is why I'm in the industry in the first place. Bitcoin, always number one. Any profits I make, right back into Bitcoin. And I just thought that this would be very interesting to share, talking about Pump Fund and Solana once again, but there's some more data that's coming out that is extremely important for you to consider as it pertains to trading Solana. We're seeing that less and less tokens are launching and graduating from Pump Fund. So here we can see last month, 1.7 million tokens launched. This month so far, 1 million tokens launched. Last week, 243,000 tokens launched. This week, 87,000 tokens launched. Yesterday, 25,000 tokens launched. Today, around 7,000 tokens launched. And we can see the same trend for the graduated tokens. Now, why is this important? Well, as we've been discussing on my Twitter here, this is an important and positive shift in the market as we start to enter an environment where high quality altcoins can start to outperform, which means projects with proven revenue and actual utility. Long term, this is healthy for crypto and very bullish for the future of the industry. I really think that this is the case. The meme coin supercycle is over. Now, you'll remember in my channel's early days, I was actually talking about this theory, but with the amount of rugs that came out and how unsustainable it was, it just completely collapsed any kind of new meme coin speculation. We made a lot of profits speculating on memes, in particular memes like Chill Guy, Peanut, Whiff, etc. You know all the memes. But as we saw, these cycles are getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and now we're at a period in time where less and less tokens are launching on Pump Fund, and in hindsight, it's clear that the top of these memes was the President of the United States launching his own. Now, some more data that's very interesting. As we can see, this is supported in the charts. The number of new tokens launching and graduating have completely diminished on Pump Fund. And what we're also seeing is that Solana's meme coin share of DEX volume is actually mostly into meme coins. Meme coins actually accounting for 70% of the Solana DEX volumes. So we're gonna have to find another product within Solana that drives this much volume. And that's also why I've been very bearish on Solana compared to the other major cryptocurrencies. It had its time. Now, is this going to be the top of the cycle? Only time will tell. But what I do know is that a reset within the Solana ecosystem needed to happen, and we're seeing exactly that. My money is on Ethereum outperforming Solana for the rest of the crypto market, as we've discussed thoroughly in my previous videos. Now, in terms of trading this Solana price action, as you know, we entered a short right around $190, and it has reaped some pretty insane profits on weeks. But if we are to consolidate here, the longer that we consolidate here, the more confident I would be that we could see a reversal in Solana, predicated on the fact that Bitcoin, of course, moves higher. If Bitcoin doesn't actually move higher yet, and we do target the lower 70K range, it's more than likely that Solana will break this key level. And so if you're considering longing or shorting Solana, make sure to click the first link in my description down below. It brings you directly to Weeks, where you can earn up to $100 just for connecting your phone number to your account, and you can also get up to $30,000 in bonuses based on your trading volume. First link in my description down below. And lastly, I just wanted to share some objective, less negative sentiment with you. We can see here that the Bitcoin correction in 2017 is eerily similar to what we're seeing now with that 30% dip. I'll remind you, Bitcoin still hasn't actually experienced a 30% dip. And just to give you an actual update on the dip from the high, what we're seeing now is a 25% dip just about. So as we saw in previous bull markets, it's not impossible for us to see 30 to 35% dips, which coincides with the bottom of the range that we've been talking about on the channel, right around $73,000. And to repeat myself, don't catch falling knives. Wait until we get some kind of consolidation. It's better to do that than to destroy your portfolio. And the last thing that we'll take a look at is the fear and greed index. Do you notice something? We are all the way down here at a 10 fear and greed index. How many times in history has this actually happened? As we can see at the bottom of this chart over here, usually when we go this low, a reversal is imminent. Literally almost every time that we're this low, we do see some kind of reversion to the upside. And so this is the time in the market where you really want to start considering your positions and adding to your long-term spot bags. No one can actually tell you where Bitcoin and where the rest of the crypto market is going. All we can do is make educated guesses. And that's why you might think I'm crazy. I've been talking about Bitcoin going all the way down to 73K. It doesn't matter. I've already started dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin at these levels. Why would I do that when I think we can go lower? Well, nothing is guaranteed. And in my honest opinion, as it pertains to Bitcoin specifically, this is deep value for what we're going to get in the next 10 to 20 years, and you have to take advantage of these dips. If you have the same mindset as me and can manage these short-term price fluctuations, act accordingly. I'm always trading Bitcoin, but when it comes to my long-term Bitcoin portfolio, I just keep on adding on these dips. Anyways, a general rule of thumb: buy when people are fearful, sell when people are greedy. And that sums up today's video. The market is fearful because institutions continuously sell a lot of their crypto holdings. We have crazy outflows in the spot ETFs. We're also seeing Trump starting to implement more and more of these tariffs and adding new ones, as a matter of fact. And everyone is pretty fearful, not knowing where we're headed next. As we can see on the chart, there's these key levels that Bitcoin is trying to hold as support, and now they flipped as resistance, namely the 86.6K level, although we did hold the 200-day moving average. I will make sure to keep you updated in all of my daily videos. If you enjoy the content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.